Imagine a world where actions speak louder than words. A world where individuals lead not by what they say, but by what they do. In every organization, community, and relationship, the most effective leaders aren't necessarily those with the loudest voices or the most persuasive arguments. They are the ones who demonstrate, through their actions, the values and principles they believe in. Setting the example is not just about taking charge in moments of success, but about consistently showing up with integrity, accountability, and respect, regardless of the circumstances. It's the power to influence not by force or authority, but by inspiring others to see and do what is right. True leadership is earned through action, not title. So ask yourself, are you leading by example? Are your actions aligning with your words, and are you inspiring others to follow the path you walk? The way we lead sets the tone for everyone around us. Resilience in the face of adversity is one of the most crucial attributes anyone can cultivate in their lifetime. It is the ability to adapt, recover, and move forward despite the obstacles that life throws in our path. Resilience does not come from avoiding hardship, but from facing it head, on with strength, determination, and a mindset that views challenges as opportunities for growth. Life will inevitably present difficulties, some predictable, some unexpected. From personal setbacks, health crises, and financial struggles to the larger, societal upheavals we witness globally, adversity is a universal experience. In these moments, the real test of character emerges. It's easy to stay calm and composed when things are going well, but true resilience shines when circumstances push us to our limits. Resilience is not about being impervious to pain or hardship. It's about acknowledging that adversity is a part of life and accepting that we cannot control everything. What we can control, however, is how we react to those challenges. It's the ability to maintain a sense of hope, purpose, and direction even in the most trying times. When we're faced with a difficult situation, it is our response to it that shapes our journey, not the hardship itself. There's an inherent strength in resilience that allows us to bounce back. But resilience is not simply about bouncing back to where we were before the adversity. Rather, it's about emerging from the challenge transformed. Each difficult experience is an opportunity to develop deeper insight, to build new skills, and to refine our personal values. Resilience encourages growth through struggle. It is the quiet force that allows us to learn from failure rather than being consumed by it. Building resilience requires a mindset that reframes adversity as a chance to grow. Resilient people are not those who avoid challenges, but those who face them directly, armed with a belief in their ability to overcome. They understand that failure is not final. It is simply a part of the journey. The setbacks they encounter are not seen as permanent defeats, but as temporary obstacles to be learned from. This mindset shift is essential to developing resilience because it enables us to see every challenge as an opportunity to improve. Moreover, resilience is deeply connected to emotional regulation. Adversity often brings a surge of emotions: anger, fear, sadness, frustration. Resilient individuals do not allow these emotions to overwhelm them. Instead, they acknowledge them and use them to fuel their determination to move forward. They learn how to manage their emotions effectively, not letting temporary feelings dictate their long-term actions or goals. One of the key components of resilience is the ability to maintain focus. It is easy to become distracted or discouraged when faced with adversity, but those who are resilient know how to stay on course. They understand the importance of perspective, recognizing that no situation, however difficult, lasts forever. Time brings change, and with perseverance, solutions to problems can be found. Resilient individuals are also adept at setting realistic goals that break down a larger problem into smaller, manageable steps. This approach not only reduces the overwhelming nature of adversity, but also instills a sense of accomplishment as each smaller challenge is met and overcome. Another crucial aspect of resilience is support. While resilience often requires self-determination, it is important to recognize that no one is truly alone in their struggles. The ability to seek help, to lean on others when necessary, and to share the burden of adversity is an important strength. Resilience does not mean going it alone. It means having the courage to reach out, to collaborate, and to rely on the support of others when the path becomes too difficult to walk alone. Ultimately, resilience in the face of adversity is about perseverance, perspective, and adaptability. It's about maintaining the courage to keep going even when the road ahead seems impossible. It's about understanding that no matter how difficult the challenge, the strength to overcome lies within. By fostering resilience, we learn not only to survive adversity, but to thrive because of it. Mental discipline is one of the most powerful tools for achieving success, personal growth, and overcoming adversity. It is the ability to control one's thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in the face of challenges, distractions, or temptations. Mental discipline is not about suppressing emotions or ignoring difficulties. Rather, it is about cultivating a mindset that remains focused, resilient, and purposeful, regardless of external circumstances. This level of control over one's own mind can make all the difference between success and failure, peace and turmoil, growth and stagnation. At its core, mental discipline is rooted in self-awareness. It requires an understanding of one's thoughts, patterns of behavior, and emotional responses. Only when we are aware of our impulses and reactions can we begin to make deliberate choices about how to act. Self-awareness creates the foundation for emotional regulation, which is one of the cornerstones of mental discipline. By being aware of our emotions, whether they be anger, fear, frustration, or excitement, we are empowered to manage them rather than allowing them to control us. Emotional control is not about avoiding feelings, but about ensuring that those feelings do not lead to impulsive actions that may hinder our goals. One of the most significant aspects of mental discipline is the ability to maintain focus. In today's world, distractions are abundant. From social media notifications to the pressures of daily life, it is easy to lose sight of long-term objectives. Mental discipline, however, allows individuals to block out these distractions and maintain their focus on what truly matters. It is the ability to prioritize, to stay on task, and to make progress toward goals despite the noise around us. This focused effort is what enables individuals to achieve mastery, whether in their personal lives, careers, or any other endeavor. Mental discipline also plays a crucial role in delayed gratification. In a world that often prioritizes instant rewards, mental discipline teaches the value of patience and perseverance. It is the ability to put in hard work today for the promise of a better tomorrow. Whether it's studying for a test, working towards a promotion, or training for a marathon, mental discipline enables individuals to resist the temptation for quick rewards in favor of long-term success. It helps individuals stay committed to their goals even when the immediate outcomes are not visible. Another key element of mental discipline is the practice of consistency. Success rarely comes from a single burst of effort. Rather, it is the result of sustained, consistent action. Mental discipline ensures that an individual continues to show up, even when motivation wanes or the task becomes difficult. Consistency is not about doing something perfectly every time, but about maintaining effort, learning from mistakes, and refining one's approach over time. The most disciplined individuals are those who do not allow temporary setbacks or distractions to deter them from their path. In addition to focus, patience, and consistency, mental discipline also involves cultivating a strong work ethic. It's the internal drive that pushes you to keep going when others might give up. This aspect of mental discipline requires a high level of commitment to personal development and growth. Those who possess mental discipline understand that true progress often requires sustained effort over time. Whether it is physical, intellectual, or emotional growth, mental discipline is what ensures that an individual continues to strive, no matter how long the journey may be. Furthermore, mental discipline includes the ability to make difficult decisions with clarity and calmness. When faced with challenging situations, individuals with mental discipline are able to think logically and strategically, rather than reacting impulsively or emotionally. They are able to assess a situation from multiple perspectives, make informed choices, and execute those choices with confidence. This capacity for clear decision-making is what enables leaders, athletes, entrepreneurs, and anyone striving for excellence to navigate complex challenges successfully. Lastly, mental discipline is integral to self-improvement. It is through consistent practice, reflection, and effort that we develop a disciplined mind. It requires a willingness to learn from mistakes, to continuously push ourselves to do better, and to remain committed to personal growth even when progress is slow. By cultivating mental discipline, we become more resilient, more focused, and more capable of handling whatever life throws our way. Leadership in tough times is one of the most challenging yet rewarding aspects of guiding others. During periods of uncertainty, crisis, or hardship, true leaders are not simply those who excel during easy times, but those who rise to the occasion when the stakes are high. Leadership in these moments demands not only strength and resilience, but also empathy, vision, and an unwavering sense of purpose. It is about inspiring others, making tough decisions, and navigating the storm with a steady hand, all while keeping the collective morale high. When faced with tough times, the first hallmark of effective leadership is the ability to remain calm and composed. Leaders who are easily rattled or overwhelmed by crises may inadvertently pass on their anxiety to their teams. On the other hand, leaders who stay grounded can instill a sense of confidence and stability in others. This calmness does not mean the leader is immune to fear or uncertainty. Rather, it reflects their ability to manage these emotions effectively, ensuring that their reactions do not undermine the morale or direction of their team. By maintaining composure, a leader can provide a safe space for others to express their concerns while also keeping them focused on the path forward. Equally important in tough times is the ability to communicate effectively. Leaders must be transparent and honest even when the news is difficult to hear. During challenging periods, teams often look to their leaders for guidance and assurance. Effective communication means not only providing clear and concise information, but also being empathetic to the emotional state of those around you. Leaders who acknowledge the difficulties at hand, while also providing hope and a sense of direction, are able to rally their teams. This transparent approach builds trust, and in tough times, trust is an invaluable currency. Leadership in adversity also demands a high degree of adaptability. Circumstances may change quickly, and the strategies that worked in the past may no longer be viable. A good leader is flexible enough to reassess the situation, pivot when necessary, and find new ways to overcome obstacles. This ability to adapt ensures that the team remains agile and capable of responding effectively to unforeseen challenges. Leaders who can make decisions in uncertain conditions, even when the outcome is not guaranteed, show courage and foresight. They inspire their teams not by the certainty of success, but by their unwavering commitment to finding solutions, no matter how difficult the path may seem. In addition to adaptability, leadership in tough times requires decisiveness. In periods of crisis, there is often no time for prolonged deliberation. Leaders must make tough decisions with limited information and under immense pressure. The ability to make these decisions and then act on them is critical. Indecision can lead to confusion, missed opportunities, or a loss of momentum. A decisive leader reassures their team by demonstrating that they have the confidence to navigate the unknown, even when the way forward is unclear. Another key element of leadership during adversity is the capacity to inspire others. In times of hardship, people often lose sight of the bigger picture and can become consumed by the weight of the situation. A strong leader can refocus their team on the mission, helping them see beyond the immediate difficulties to the long-term goals. This vision becomes the anchor that holds everyone together. Through motivation, encouragement, and unwavering belief in the team's ability to overcome the crisis, a leader can foster resilience and determination in their people. Leaders in tough times also understand the importance of supporting their team. This support goes beyond just giving instructions. It's about recognizing the emotional and psychological toll that adversity can take on individuals. Empathetic leadership involves offering assistance, providing reassurance, and fostering an environment where team members feel valued and understood. By acknowledging their struggles, a leader can help reduce stress and anxiety, empowering their team to keep pushing forward. Furthermore, the challenges faced in tough times often reveal hidden strengths within a leader and their team. It is through adversity that innovation is sparked, creativity flourishes, and bonds are forged. A leader who encourages a culture of collaboration and creative problem solving can inspire their team to approach problems from different angles, finding solutions they may not have considered under normal circumstances. Lastly, leadership in tough times requires a long-term perspective. While immediate decisions may be necessary for survival, a good leader always keeps an eye on the future. They think beyond the crisis, planning for recovery and growth once the storm has passed. This foresight ensures that the team not only survives, but emerges stronger and more unified. Leaders who can instill this sense of hope and resilience help their teams see that, although the current moment is difficult, better days lie ahead, and their collective efforts will pave the way to a brighter future. Emotional control is one of the most essential aspects of personal growth and effective leadership. It refers to the ability to manage one's emotions, reactions, and behaviors in a way that is purposeful and constructive, particularly in situations that may trigger intense feelings. Emotional control doesn't mean suppressing emotions or ignoring them. Rather, it is the ability to acknowledge and understand emotions while choosing how to respond to them in a manner that aligns with one's values and goals. This skill is vital not only in maintaining personal well-being, but also in fostering healthy relationships, achieving success, and navigating challenges in both personal and professional life. At the core of emotional control is emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize and understand one's own emotions and those of others. Emotional intelligence allows individuals to be aware of the emotions they are experiencing in any given moment and recognize how those emotions might influence their thoughts and actions. The first step in emotional control is self-awareness. Without recognizing what emotions are at play, it is nearly impossible to manage them effectively. Self-awareness provides insight into emotional triggers, helping individuals to anticipate their emotional responses and prepare to address them before they spiral out of control. Once emotions are recognized, the next step in emotional control is emotional regulation. This is the ability to manage the intensity and duration of emotions. For example, in moments of stress, anger, or frustration, emotional regulation allows individuals to pause, breathe, and choose a measured response rather than acting impulsively. It is about creating space between the emotion and the reaction, allowing for a thoughtful response rather than an automatic, often regrettable reaction. Emotional regulation is vital for making clear, level-headed decisions, particularly in high-pressure situations. When emotions are allowed to dictate actions without control, people are more likely to make decisions they later regret, damaging relationships or undermining their own progress. One of the key components of emotional control is the ability to stay calm in the face of adversity. Life is filled with unpredictable events, and setbacks are a natural part of any journey. Whether it's a sudden crisis at work, a difficult conversation with a loved one, or a personal failure, how we respond emotionally in these moments shapes the outcome. A person who can maintain emotional control during stressful times is better equipped to think clearly, assess the situation rationally, and make decisions that are in line with their long-term goals. Conversely, those who allow their emotions to run unchecked often make reactive decisions that escalate the situation or create unnecessary conflict. Emotional control also plays a critical role in conflict resolution. During disagreements or tense situations, emotions can run high. Without emotional control, a disagreement can easily escalate into an argument, harming relationships or creating lasting resentment. Leaders who exhibit emotional control during conflicts are able to listen calmly, maintain a balanced perspective, and guide conversations toward productive solutions. They create an atmosphere where all parties feel heard and respected, even if they disagree. This not only resolves the issue at hand, but also strengthens trust and respect among team members, friends, or family. Additionally, emotional control is essential for maintaining resilience. When faced with challenges, setbacks, or failures, our emotional reactions can either propel us forward or hold us back. A person who can manage their emotions is more likely to view challenges as opportunities for growth rather than insurmountable obstacles. When setbacks trigger feelings of frustration, disappointment, or hopelessness, emotional control allows individuals to pause and reframe the situation, choosing to focus on the lessons learned and the potential for future success. Resilience is built upon the foundation of emotional control because it enables individuals to maintain their composure, stay motivated, and keep pushing forward despite difficulties. It is also important to note that emotional control does not mean bottling up or repressing emotions. In fact, suppressing emotions can lead to negative outcomes, such as increased stress, anxiety, or even physical health issues. Emotional control involves acknowledging and processing emotions in a healthy way. This might include expressing emotions in a safe and constructive manner, seeking support when needed, or engaging in mindfulness practices that help manage emotional states. By processing emotions effectively, individuals can prevent them from accumulating and causing harm to their mental or physical health. Furthermore, practicing emotional control leads to greater self-discipline. The ability to regulate one's emotions directly impacts one's ability to stay focused on long-term goals. Emotional impulses, such as the desire for instant gratification or the urge to avoid discomfort, can derail progress. However, by exercising emotional control, individuals are more likely to stay committed to their goals, resisting short-term temptations in favor of long-term success. This level of self-discipline helps individuals remain consistent and dedicated to their personal development, even when challenges arise. The power of perspective is a profound tool that can shape our experiences, influence our decisions, and determine how we navigate the complexities of life. Perspective refers to the way we perceive and interpret the world around us, and it profoundly affects how we respond to challenges, relationships, and opportunities. The lens through which we view our circumstances can either limit us or empower us. By recognizing the power of perspective, we gain the ability to change how we see situations, and in doing so, we can change our responses, attitudes, and ultimately our outcomes. At its core, perspective is the way we choose to interpret events, situations, and people. Two individuals can face the same challenge and yet experience it entirely differently based on their perspectives. One person might see a setback as a failure, while another sees it as a learning opportunity. Similarly, a person might view a difficult conversation as a confrontation, while another sees it as a chance to communicate more effectively and strengthen a relationship. The power of perspective lies in its ability to influence our emotional responses and our actions. By shifting our perspective, we can alter the way we feel about a situation and how we choose to engage with it. One of the most impactful aspects of perspective is its ability to transform adversity into opportunity. Life is full of challenges, and often, we have little control over the obstacles we encounter. However, we do have control over how we interpret those obstacles. When faced with difficulty, we can choose to view it as a temporary setback or as an opportunity for growth. This shift in perspective enables us to approach challenges with resilience, creativity, and a sense of purpose. Instead of feeling defeated, we become motivated by the belief that every difficulty carries a lesson or a chance to develop new skills. It's through this lens that we can truly unlock our potential, as we stop seeing challenges as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones. Perspective also plays a crucial role in our relationships with others. Our perceptions of other people's actions and intentions shape the dynamics of our interactions. For example, when we approach a difficult conversation with the belief that the other person is intentionally trying to harm us, our defensive and combative behavior may escalate the situation. However, if we choose to view the other person's actions from a place of understanding and empathy, recognizing that they may be dealing with their own challenges, we are more likely to engage in a productive dialogue. This shift in perspective fosters cooperation, reduces conflict, and strengthens bonds. Perspective allows us to look beyond surface-level misunderstandings and recognize the deeper motivations that drive people's actions. Moreover, perspective helps to foster gratitude. Often, we focus on what we lack or what's going wrong in our lives, which can lead to feelings of frustration or dissatisfaction. However, by shifting our focus to what we have and the positive aspects of our lives, we can cultivate a sense of gratitude. This change in perspective has the power to increase our overall well-being, as research has shown that gratitude is linked to improved mental health, greater life satisfaction, and stronger relationships. When we begin to view challenges through the lens of gratitude, we see them as opportunities for growth and reflection, rather than as burdens to bear. Another key aspect of the power of perspective is its role in fostering patience and tolerance. In a world that is increasingly fast, paced, and divided, it's easy to become impatient with others who don't share our viewpoints or experiences. However, when we practice perspective, we learn to appreciate the diversity of thought and experience around us. We come to understand that everyone is navigating their own journey, and that our perspectives are shaped by our unique backgrounds, experiences, and values. By embracing this understanding, we become more tolerant and compassionate, recognizing that differences do not necessarily create division, but offer opportunities for learning and growth. The ability to shift perspective is also a vital tool for self-reflection and personal growth. When we reflect on our own behaviors, thoughts, and actions, the way we perceive our past decisions can shape our future choices. Instead of viewing mistakes as failures, we can choose to see them as valuable lessons. This shift allows us to approach our own growth with kindness and patience, recognizing that mistakes are an inevitable part of the process of becoming better versions of ourselves. The power of perspective gives us the ability to step back, view our lives through a broader lens, and take ownership of our growth without judgment or self-criticism. Ultimately, the power of perspective lies in its ability to shape our reality. By changing the way we perceive the world, we change our emotional experiences and our ability to act within it. When we understand that perspective is a choice, we realize that we hold the key to transforming our lives. By choosing to see the positive, the opportunities, and the growth in every situation, we empower ourselves to live with greater purpose, resilience, and fulfillment. Setting the example is one of the most powerful forms of leadership and influence. It involves demonstrating the behaviors, values, and attitudes you want to see in others. Rather than simply telling people what they should do, setting the example provides a living model for them to follow. This approach is not only more effective, but also more authentic. People are naturally drawn to leaders and individuals who lead by example because their actions speak louder than their words. It's an approach rooted in integrity and accountability, where personal actions align with the values one promotes. The essence of setting the example begins with self-awareness. Leaders and role models who set the best examples are those who have a clear understanding of their own values and behaviors. They are consistent in their actions and attitudes, whether in public or private, because they know that every action is a reflection of the principles they stand for. Self-awareness allows individuals to recognize when their behavior is inconsistent with their values, and it gives them the chance to correct course. By aligning their actions with their values, they become credible and trustworthy in the eyes of others. Moreover, setting the example means taking responsibility for one's actions and decisions. It requires accountability, not just for one's successes, but also for one's mistakes. Leaders who set the example do not shy away from acknowledging their failures or shortcomings. Instead of blaming others or making excuses, they take ownership of their actions, learn from them, and move forward. This willingness to admit mistakes fosters a culture of trust and openness. It shows others that it's okay to fail, as long as we learn from it and continue to strive for improvement. This accountability creates a safe space for others to do the same, leading to a more resilient and growth-oriented environment. Setting the example is also about demonstrating respect and empathy. People are more likely to emulate behaviors they see as respectful and compassionate. A leader or individual who sets the example treats others with dignity, regardless of their status, background, or role. This attitude promotes a sense of belonging and inclusion. When people feel respected, they are more motivated to contribute, collaborate, and support each other. By showing empathy, actively listening, offering help, and acknowledging the emotions of others, individuals can create an environment where everyone feels valued, heard, and appreciated. Another critical aspect of setting the example is maintaining consistency. It's easy to act in line with values when things are going smoothly, but true leaders demonstrate consistency even in times of adversity. When faced with challenges or difficult situations, setting the example means staying true to one's principles, even when it requires personal sacrifice or discomfort. This consistency reassures others that the values being promoted are not just lip service, but deeply embedded in the character of the leader or role model. Whether it's staying calm under pressure, adhering to ethical standards despite temptations, or maintaining a positive attitude in the face of setbacks, consistency is a cornerstone of leading by example. Setting the example also extends to the way individuals handle success. True role models don't boast about their achievements or take credit for the work of others. Instead, they show humility and give credit where it's due. By celebrating collective success and uplifting those who contributed, they foster a spirit of collaboration and mutual respect. This creates a culture where people are more focused on team goals than individual accolades. Leaders who set the example understand that their success is often the result of the hard work and dedication of others, and they make it a point to acknowledge and appreciate the efforts of their team. Furthermore, setting the example is about being a source of inspiration. People are naturally drawn to individuals who are passionate, driven, and enthusiastic about their work or purpose. Leaders who set the example inspire others not just through their words, but through their actions and energy. Their passion is contagious, motivating others to adopt a similar mindset and commitment to their own goals. A leader who sets the example doesn't just tell people to be resilient or ambitious. They demonstrate these qualities in their own lives. This leads others to believe that they too can overcome obstacles, achieve their goals, and live up to the standards set before them. Leading by example also creates a ripple effect. When individuals see others living in alignment with strong values, it encourages them to do the same. It's a powerful mechanism for change, as one person's commitment to setting the example can inspire entire teams, organizations, or communities to adopt similar behaviors. The more consistent the example, the more likely it is that others will follow, and over time, this creates a culture built on shared values and mutual respect. The impact of setting the example is not limited to the immediate moment. It can have lasting effects that shape the behavior and attitudes of future generations. Setting the example is one of the most powerful ways to lead and influence others. Through self-awareness, consistency, accountability, and empathy, individuals who lead by example create environments where values are not just taught, but lived. By demonstrating respect, humility, and resilience, they inspire others to follow suit, fostering a culture of trust, collaboration, and growth. True leadership is not just about words, but about aligning actions with principles. When individuals lead by example, they set a powerful precedent that encourages others to strive for their best, creating lasting positive change in both personal and collective spheres.